Hello friends, AmyR here with Prairie Paper and Ink. First off, quick little disclaimer if you hear random noises. There's construction going on, my kids are playing video games, and boys losing their minds, you know, those sorts of things. A lot going on, a lot of random noise. So, if that's picking up on the microphone, it just is what it is. So anywho, I just got my order of the new Tim Holtz Distress Halloween Mica Stains. 2 sets were released last year of different colors, and then they released 2 new sets, and they're beautiful. I love the Distress Mica Stains. They are so much fun. If you haven't seen Tim's video, he did an entire video on his Tim Holtz YouTube channel. Highly recommend, because like all the info, product info, tips and tricks, inspiration, etc. So much info. So I opened up my pack, I laid them all out, marveled at the beautifulness, and then I was like, I need to play. So I embossed a piece of Distress watercolor paper with the Tangled Web 3D embossing folder from Simon Says Stamp. So I have it embossed, and I picked out a couple different Ranger spray stains, like Distress spray stains, 1 Oxide spray, and then I chose 2 of the colors of Mica stains. I'm going to use Decayed and Wicked Elixir. And with the Mica stains, and this applies to Oxide sprays as well, you kind of want to shake them side to side, kind of like a bell, to really mix them up. If you shake them up and down, the only problem you might have is it will push the liquid out the nozzle, and you can get random splatters, you know, make a mess. It's not the end of the world, but that can happen. The other thing with the Mica stains specifically, this also kind of applies to the Oxide sprays. You want to make sure you have them really well shaken up. You can tell when you look at the sides and the bottom if there's like sediment basically sitting there. If that's happening, shake them up. You shake them as you use them. Everything, you want it to be incorporated in the liquid before you start spraying. Because if the nozzle ends up sucking up like solid mica, or in the case of the Oxide sprays, the pigments, you can clog your sprays. It's a pain in the butt. Again, watch Tim's videos. They're long, but they're worth it. And there's a pause button. You can, pause it, come back to it, that sort of thing. Anyway, I had fun with it. This looks like a hot, gross mess when it's wet, but trust me, it's going to be amazing. So I used Black Soot Distress Spray Stain. I used Old Paper Distress Oxide Spray. I added some salvaged Patina Distress Spray Stain, which you don't really see, especially when it's wet, but when it's done, there is those hints of like that kind of aqua blue. Oh, like I was adding a little bit more here because it gave it an extra something. And then those 2 Mica stains, so the Decayed and the Wicked Elixir. And the sparkle. Like as this was fully dried, like look at that. I had so much fun making this. And then I was like, why didn't I emboss a whole bunch more pieces and just play? Highly recommend it. Loads of fun. And every time it's going to be different. So once it was dry, I'm going to add some Foundry wax. Now, I don't think I've shown Foundry wax in any videos yet. This, especially if you are not familiar with Foundry wax, cannot recommend enough watching Tim Holtz video, specifically just on Foundry wax. If I remember, I'll link to them in the description box below. But you can also search them up. They're easy to find. Foundry wax is a pretty unique product. It's a beast all of its own. There's a lot to know and understand about this. But number 1, they need to be shaken up really well. They're very interesting. It thickens when it's exposed to air, and then it'll just kind of like dry right out. So I just squeezed, after I shook it up really well, I squeezed a little bit onto my nonstick craft mat, and then I'm just using my finger to apply it. Doesn't bother me. You could use some sort of applicator or put gloves on, whatever. It doesn't faze me. But again, like you will literally notice a difference. Like it'll start thickening like as you're just working with it. So I only squeezed a little bit out, picked it out with my finger, and then I'm just gently rubbing it on the raised areas of this web. It's not going to look like much, but the biggest thing with Foundry wax is it needs to be heated. Like absolutely has to be. You don't see that the shiny metallic finish till you do that. And that's also what makes it like permanent. So right now it's not really looking like nothing, but I'm just going along and adding it. I'm not worried about it being perfect. I'm getting it, you know, on areas that aren't raised. Again, not worried. It's kind of competing with all the like shininess going on with all the sprays in the background. But once I heat it, it kind of brings out that gold finish, because this one of course is the gilded. There's 3 other finishes. They come in packs of 2 different colors. There's like a bronzy color, a silver color, and like a coppery color, I think, as well. And the gold is obviously my favorite. So once I had it applied to pretty much the entire thing, I'm going to use my heat tool to heat it. It doesn't take long, and again, it depends on what you've applied it to. Some things it's a lot easier to see the immediate change. With this, it was a little more difficult to like show the amazingness of it because I have so much going on with the background, but still worth it. Still had fun. So you'll see when it melts, or like when the heat kind of activates it. Yeah, it just gives it this really neat metallic finish. So now my web's got this gorgeous metallic finish. And then to clean up that Foundry wax, just a bit of isopropyl alcohol. I always have some on hand to clean up, you know, random ink stains and alcohol inks and all the things in my craft area. So I just put a little bit of that on a paper towel, wipe up my craft sheet, wiped off whatever was on my hand. There wasn't really much. And then I'm good to go. So now I've got this fabulous background, and I ended up deciding to pull out an oldie but goodie. I think this came out last year. I can't remember if it was last year or the year before, but it's still available. Stamp set, the Toil in Trouble stamp set from Simon Says Stamp. This is just a fun set. I did a previous card with this. Again, I think it was last year. I'll have a link to it at the end of this video. And I just love it. I just think it's so cute. So I took some of the main images from this set, and I am stamping them onto Neenah Classic Crest 80-pound solar white cardstock with Simon's Intense Black ink. And once they're stamped, I'm going to use my Copic markers to color this in. And right now, this is real time, because I know I speed up a lot in my videos, because otherwise my videos would just be way too long, especially with coloring. So right now, this is real time. And then I'm just going to super speed this up because we ain't got all day. So I did my typical, like, I go darkest to lightest most of the time when I'm coloring with Copics. It's just a like convenience sort of thing. It makes it go a little bit faster. But if you are struggling with coloring or practicing that sort of thing, you have way more control going lightest to darkest. Again, I've been coloring with these for, goodness, 15 years? I don't even know. And for me, yeah, laziness and convenience. So darkest to lightest most of the time for me. So I used warm grays for my cauldron, and I'll use the same combo for the boots and the hat. I just didn't bother including that in the video because it's literally the exact same thing. And then I also went in with the darkest colors and would just add some dots here and there just for some texture, because why not? And then, of course, greens for the bubbling potion. So colored that in. And then I chose color combos that kind of went with that spiderweb background, because I had this kind of, you know, that bit of the aqua-ish color hiding in there from the Salvaged Patina. So I decided to color the witch's striped legs with aqua colors, and then this fun green combo for the other stripes, because again, that's, you know, one of the colors that kind of mixed in with these with this background. Like, I'm looking at it right now, and it's just interesting how these colors just, yeah, they do their own thing. That's why I like playing with the sprays. They're so much fun. So colored the little stripes and the witch's hat, and then off camera finished off the hat and the boots with the same warm grays. And then I went in with my Jelly Roll 10 pens, my widest Jelly Roll. This is my favorite one. And again, people ask me all the time, like, how I know where to place highlights. I just place them wherever. I don't follow any rules. I just place dots and highlights wherever I think they need to be. I don't worry about it too much, especially, like, it's card making. It's not rocket science. And it's, yeah, I just have fun with it. I try not to overthink it, because once I start overthinking, which is, you know, all the time, it gets a little bit much. So added all my little dots and highlights to everything. And then I used the coordinating wafer dies to die cut these, which this set especially, I like this coordinating wafer die set because the one for the cauldron also cuts along the top of the bubbles of the potion so that you can stick things in it, which the legs, obviously, or whatever else you want to. I think it's just fun. So I taped the coordinating wafer dies into place so they don't move when I run them through my die cut machine. And then I die cut them. And then that spiderweb background I had trimmed down just a little bit so it's slightly smaller than my A2 card base. My card base is just Simon's smooth white cardstock. It's a 4 1/4 by 5.5 inch card. So I glued that fabulous background to it with the craft tacky glue. And then my little scene here, I'm going to pop these on with just some thin foam squares, just to give them just a tiny bit of dimension. The sentiments from the set, I just gold heat embossed those onto pieces of black cardstock. So I saved some for the inside of the card. I have some for the outside of the card. On the inside of the card, I'm going to use the Happy Halloween sentiment. And there is a little rectangle wafer die in the coordinating die set for this stamp set. So I use that for the big sentiments. So die cut that, adhered the Happy Halloween one and the witch's hat to the inside. The other ones I adhered to the outside of the card, again, just using the thin 3D foam squares. Some of them I'd stack up, just, again, gives it a little bit of dimension, because why not? So once I have all of my sentiments and images in place, I'm of course going to add more bling. So I'm going to use my Studio Caudia round iridescent gems, because they're perfect. When I adhere these, the glue looks white, so these gems stand out and they look a little weird. The glue will dry clear. And so then all that's going to show is just these iridescent, basically bubbles. You know, I do have iridescent bubble embellishments as well. Those would work great for this because, you know, cauldron. These though, I like the little facets on them. They make them more sparkly. So you can see the glue dried clear. I've got the shimmer. I'm going to turn on my flashlight so you guys can see some of that glitter from the mica sprays. These mica sprays are fun. I love them. They were so fun last year. And yeah, those colors, the colors from last year will be coming back next year. Again, watch Tim's video. He explained all the things. It's just so much fun. So these new colors are amazing. I love them. I'm going to play with them more. You guys will see them in more videos, of course. And as always, I will have links below this video to my blog post. I'll have the pictures and picture links in the blog post, the supply list. I'll link to everything I use. And I will try to link to Tim's videos as well if I remember. Thank you guys so much for watching, for thumbs upping, commenting, subscribe if you hadn't. I very much appreciate it. And I will see you all very soon in the next video. Bye.